Hello, this is Peter Rod, and this is my short multimedia presentation with a summary of my research on the three organizations using Bolman Deal's four frames analysis. Some keywords that really resonate to me when I think of the four frames are here. With structural, we're talking about hierarchies and rules. With human resources, we're talking about people and their ideas. In the political frame, we're talking about diversity and conflict. And in the symbolic frame, we're focusing on meaning and culture. A simple graphic here just to show you how things broke out with respect to the importance of each of the frames and each of the three companies that I investigated. On the left, we have the Canadian Food and Wine Institute. In the middle, we have the Anglican Diocese of Niagara. And on the right, a winery which I have called Gold River Winery. And you can see how each of the four frames varies between them. Clearly here we have the structural frame and the human resources frame as the two most significant across the board, and then some pretty significant variations in the political and symbolic frames. I'll just tell you a little bit about each of the three organizations and then a summary of my findings. But because we're trying to keep this below 5 minutes, it will really be very much to the point. Gold River Winery is a medium-sized winery owned privately. It's in Niagara. It's been around since 1998. There are a number of owners, a family, which basically comes in the organization with the land and the farming history, and one significant private investor who brings all of the capital into the organization. This private investor used to own and operate another very significant multi-million-dollar business, and has great skill as a salesperson and a business owner, but doesn't know a whole lot about the wine business. And this has been a bit of an issue because not everybody is seeing eye to eye in some of the decisions that are being made. It produces roughly 15,000 cases, which is a fairly significant increase from its early days, which was closer to 1,500 cases, but that was 20 years ago. Staff of roughly 20, which is in sales and production for both the winery and in the bakery. There's essentially two small businesses under one umbrella, which is a bakery and a gift shop and a winery. And again, so we have quite diversity here in terms of the staff and the philosophies for each of those businesses. And then, of course, we have management and administration on top of the 20. It's a mix of part-time, seasonal workers, and full-time employees, just to give you a bit of a sense of the makeup of the team. What I found in my research was that the political and structural frames were most prevalent. We have a fairly micromanaging general manager, and only the bravest of staff will challenge the general manager, which keeps the idea of ideas and brainstorming to a minimum. There are power struggles between some of the key players, some of the key management who are frustrated with the direction that the winery is going and the overall lack of clear vision, clear mission, and core values. The advice that I would give is for the general manager to back off a little, be less micromanaging, and to realize the quality of the staff that exist, and to empower them, and to not only listen to their ideas, but to give them plenty of opportunity to share those ideas and to act on the ideas which are most valuable. I think this would go a long way to making the staff feel wanted and inspired to come to work and to work hard and to put their best foot forward. There are monetary rewards, but they're nominal, and there are no bonuses paid at year end, regardless of how successful the winery is. The targets are always moving, so even if halfway through the year the team has achieved the target for that particular quarter, the general manager is likely to increase those targets, to change them, and so they're always moving, and it makes it very difficult for the team to feel as though they're ever going to get there, or that they're ever going to be appreciated, because they always seem to be running after the next lofty goal. Senior administration could do a better job of clarifying the mission, the vision, and the core values of the company, and make sure that all the staff are fully aware of these core values and the philosophies, so that everybody's moving basically in the same direction, believing in the same general ideas. The second company I looked at is where I work, the Canadian Food and Wine Institute at Niagara College. This is a food and wine focused department in this medium-sized community college. Obviously, our money comes from the same place that every college gets their money, from the province, from tuition fees, and from private donors. We've got a staff of roughly 80 with a mix of part-time and full-time faculty, with the number of part-time increasing and full-time decreasing, which is one of the major reasons why we're on strike right now. We have 725 students on an annual basis, and that number has been fairly consistent. All of our programs are typically fully subscribed, and we often have a wait list. We offer quite a broad range of apprenticeship, diploma, and post-grad certificate programs at the Canadian Food and Wine Institute. At the CFWI, the human resources and symbolic frames, to me, are most prevalent. Human resources because really education and successful education is all about the people. It's about the ideas they use in the classroom. It's the ideas and their sharing of information between one another. It's the communication and collaboration that exists between the administration and the faculty. And unfortunately, some of that is under pressure right now with declining domestic enrollment and the perpetual uncertainty of funding from the government. This has led in the last number of years to an increase in part-time staff and a reduction in faculty, full-time faculty, which means that you've got fewer and fewer people permanently on site at the college, and more who are basically piloting in from their professional workplace to teach a few hours and then disappear again. So the staff are broken up, the faculty is broken up, less room for ideas, collisions, and for collaborations, and for kind of espousing and maintaining one philosophy and one idea around what we're trying to achieve at the college. And it seems to be turning the college into more and more of a money-first, structured sort of corporate environment. There is a strong culture of caring and collaboration, but this is a little under pressure. As the part-time numbers increase, workloads increase, and there seems to be this growing divide that exists between the administration and faculty. The third organization I looked at was the Anglican Diocese of Niagara. You can see their vision graphic to the right here. This is a church based out of Hamilton, but has 90 parishes all over southwestern Ontario, and was founded 140 years ago. The bishop is in charge. He oversees the entire diocese and has an executive team of 20. Each parish within the diocese has its own small team reporting to the resident clergy, whether that's a priest or deacon or reverend. And then, of course, there's a strong contingent of volunteers who are very highly valued. With this particular organization, the symbolic and human resources frames seemed most prevalent. The church is facing challenges with diminishing numbers of churchgoers and, as a result, declining revenues. A number of churches have closed. In some cases, the reverend in a particular parish or a reverend may be preaching in a number of different parishes, and as a result can only attend 2 or 3 Sundays each month in one particular parish. So you'll have 1 or 2 weeks where you don't have a clergy member delivering the weekly sermon. There is, of course, a long tradition a long tradition in the Anglican Church, 2,000 years or so, and the symbolism and tradition, of course, is a powerful force, but it may need to be reinvigorated and reinvented to some degree to try to deal with the diminishing numbers of churchgoers and to appeal to the young audience, which is maybe a little disillusioned and frustrated with religion right now because of the current world situation. The voice of the clergy and of the parishioners is vital for each parish to move forward, survive, and thrive. So it's very much a people-oriented situation here. And this African quote sums it up quite nicely. Harambe, which means pulling together and joining hands to build up, especially in times of community need when resources are scarce. That's exactly what this particular diocese and probably many others need to do in order to survive and adapt to the changing times.